how the founder of the Jesuits, Ignatius of Loyola, helped to change the modern world. The Jesuits, who are known worldwide for their schools, colleges, writings, and humanitarian work, have a founder. He is Ignatius of Loyola, who is a key figure not just for Christians but also for the entire world, because he changed the way in which we think and pray. Ignatius was born in 1492 at Loyola in Spain, the year Columbus discovered America and began the age of European exploration. In North India, Babur, the Mughal emperor, won the Battle of Panipat near Delhi in 1526 by using cannon on the battlefield for the first time. It was a time of turbulence and change, both in India and in Europe. Two most significant things made Ignatius of Loyola a key figure in the history. First, he authored a book called The Spiritual Exercises. And the second, he started a group of men called Jesus Company, or the Society of Jesus, who changed the world through the schools they built. If you ever go for a retreat or a prayer seminar with Jesuit fathers, they will give you practical exercises from the book of The Spiritual Exercises of Saint Ignatius. The purpose of these exercises is to guide you in making the right decision in your life. But Ignatius did much more than spiritual exercises. He formed a group of men who soon astonished the entire world with their zeal and energy. History knows them as the Jesuits, who became the schoolmasters of Europe and then the entire world. For the greatest contribution of the Society of Jesus was the setting up of schools wherever they went, an innovation which captured the imagination of Europe and taught the modern world to think. The Jesuits were the first to inculcate graded and systematic knowledge, not just of crafts and skills, but also of ideas. Here, I would like to briefly mention a few of the Jesuit innovations. First, the Jesuits invented the textbook. This was possible because of the invention of printing. Second, Jesuits wrote the first dictionaries, grammars, and designed the first maps. The first map of the moon was plotted by the Jesuit scholar Flavius. Third, Jesuit education took place in a personalized context, stressing the contact between teacher and student. This is why even today, old students remember their Jesuit teachers with great affection. Never mind they have all but forgotten the subjects they were taught. The inspirational value of the teacher was enormous. Fourth, finally, the Jesuit education was in the widest sense humanistic, not classist. A Jesuit school was where you would find aristocrats, merchants, and peasants all coming together under one roof. There were even schools for tribals and indigenous peoples. All this was done in the words of the Jesuit motto, for the greater glory of God and for the uplift of men and women. From the same Ignatius of Loyola comes the seminary, which taught young men in a graded and systematic way how to become educated priests. Jesuits taught that learning is a means for going out into the field to innovate and experiment, to discover and invent. What the printing press was to yesterday, the electronic media are today. They have changed the way we think and relate to each other. They are already transforming education and so the world. What would Ignatius of Loyola have done today with television, radio, the internet, cell phones, online teaching, and webinars, etc., etc.? The question is ours to answer. The feast of Saint Ignatius of Loyola is celebrated on the 31st of July.
My dear Principal, Vice Principal, members of the staff of St. Joseph's Indian PU College, my dear students and dear parents, first of all, I wish you all a very happy feast of St. Ignatius of Loyola, the founder of Jesuits who are running this institution. Today, we are celebrating this feast in a different way and in a unique way because we are in a crisis. The humankind is living through a crisis of an enormous magnitude caused by the outbreak of a highly contagious illness, coronavirus. Time seems to have stopped, and the only human ambition is to just survive this time of coronavirus. It is an invitation to all of us to the pathway to God. This crisis has opened up for us new possibilities. I remember today one of the greatest spiritual insights of St. Ignatius of Loyola, that is finding God in everything. Today, dear students, the temples, the churches, gurudwaras, mosques and other places of worship have been closed. People are finding God in their own families by praying together, eating together, helping each other. People are finding God in the persons of doctors, nurses, frontline workers, police personnel, BBMP workers, and the people, those who reached out to the migrants and the people who are stranded during the lockdown. We need to find God within oneself and in others. Secondly, we need to be self-leaders. We are all in the same boat and same situation. We are in a context where we need to learn to encourage oneself to be self-leaders. We need to believe in oneself and need to learn to lead ourselves. St. Ignatius has taught us to develop a self-awareness, a concept that has been reintroduced today as mindfulness. Some understand mindfulness to mean we should be fully present and in the moment. To be self-leaders, we need to be aware of our own lights and shadows. Thirdly, today we need to be self-learners. Schools and colleges are shut. We cannot meet our teachers and instructors. We cannot interact with each other physically. We are not able to sit with our friends and learn together. We need to learn ourselves. YouTube tutorials, webinars, books, or any other mode of learning is at our disposal when we decide to learn. Self-learning requires lots of discipline and it can be challenging. However, it can be one of the most interesting learning experiences when done properly. We have in St. Ignatius a great example for a self-learning. He started studying Latin language at the age of 30 because at that time Latin was the only language of instruction. He had a great desire to study and do his master's in humanities. His curiosity to learn made him to give his best. He was a person of curiosity, a man of discipline. Dear students, we have a road less traveled by. We have the great opportunity. When we say that 2020 is the year to forget. But dear students, it is a year which is in our hands to create history. We have ample of opportunities. We are learning so many things which we thought impossible. We have learned to enjoy being at home. We have learned to relate with each other. We have learned that my action is going to affect others. We have learned to respect each other. It's a time for us to use our creativity to explore new paths. We are in a chaos and are in a rainbow of chaos. Chaos breeds creativity. Chaos destroys familiar. It is the bedrock that moves us forward creatively into the future. We have new possibilities. Dear students, grab this opportunity and make the difference like St. Ignatius. May St. Ignatius be your role model. May the inspiration of St. Ignatius of Loyola be a blessing for all of us. Once again, a very happy feast of our founder. God bless us all.